If you ever wanted to make risotto, but maybe you're just a little bit intimidated, well, today's recipe is for you. We're making a super delicious asparagus risotto with some extra aromatics, and you're gonna see just how easy it is to make in your own kitchen. Let's jump in. I have washed asparagus here, and you can add as much or as little as you want to this recipe. I usually just grab one bunch from the store and I use that. Once it's washed, we need to trim off the woody bits. I like a lot of garlic in basically every recipe that I cook, so we're gonna chop up 2 huge garlic cloves. You can leave this out if you want. I think it adds a little bit of extra flavor, so I highly recommend it. And the last thing we need to prep is 1 large shallot. You can also use a really small yellow onion for this. It'll get cooked down. I really like shallots in recipes like this because they're a little bit sweeter. We're going to be blanching the asparagus. As soon as your water's boiling, let's get the asparagus in. Make sure it's all covered and set a timer for 2 minutes. After 2 minutes, turn the heat off and remove your asparagus immediately to some ice cold water. This will stop the cooking process and will also preserve that bright green color. Once your asparagus has fully cooled and you can see all the ice has melted and you can really pick them out and they feel nice and cold, you can just drain them from this water and set them aside. To get the risotto started, add a good tablespoon of butter to your skillet. Okay, butter is melted, things are starting to bubble. Go ahead and add that arborio rice. We're gonna toast this for a few minutes just until it starts to take on a little bit of color. After a couple minutes of saute, go in there with your wine. Now for the fun part, we're going to slowly add this stock in about 1/4 cup at a time. And we want everything to just slowly cook so that the rice gets really starchy and emulsifies super well. Continue to add stock in pretty slowly. This process can take about 15 minutes. We've been going for about 7 minutes here, and you can see it's starting to thicken, but we're nowhere near close. Just keep swimming, just keep swimming. Okay, we've gone through about 3 full cups of stock here, but we're still going strong. I know it's tempting to just dump it all in, similar to other rice that you can make on the skillet or the stove, but if you just have the patience, it will taste so good. So it's been 10 minutes of adding stock. I just tasted the rice and it's still very much al dente, if not undercooked, so we're gonna keep going. Okay, I've gone through 3 3/4 cup of stock and it's tasting just above al dente. So we're going to get that asparagus added in. You can leave the asparagus large if you want, but I would cut it up into more bite-sized pieces. And since I'm kind of lazy, we're going to do it with scissors. Incorporate that. We're very, very, very close. I think we're going to wind up using the rest of the stock. The reason we waited to add the asparagus until the end is so it didn't get overcooked. Risotto can take a while. You don't want your asparagus to turn into stewed asparagus because that can be not the best. Not the best. We're adding in the last 1/4 cup. Feels like a big moment, you know, we waited a while. And then once this stock is finally incorporated, we're gonna get the cheese in there and then we're gonna add the little secret ingredient, butter. All right, just before you're out of liquid, so you have just a tiny bit left, we're actually gonna turn the heat off. And then I have 1/3 cup Parmesan cheese here. Sprinkle that over. And then just mix until it's well incorporated. Okay, we're gonna finish her off with 1/2 tablespoon of butter. Just before serving, to lighten everything up, I have a little bit of white wine vinegar. I like to just add a slight splash, literally that. It'll brighten everything up. Risotto can taste a little bit rich, but if you just give it a little bit of acid in the end, it will taste delicious. Pretty but optional is adding some fresh herbs on top. I have some fresh basil here that I'm just giving a light chop to, sprinkled on top with some fresh cracked pepper. And if you so choose, you can add a little extra fresh Parmesan cheese. And then you have a delicious bowl of some veggie-filled risotto. Let's give this risotto a try. It's creamy, it's comforting. And yes, it did take a little bit of time to make, but it's always worth it in the end for a delicious bowl of something like this. I hope you guys give this one a try, and if you do, please let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching.